Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Fintech Hunting Podcast. We have a very special guest for you today. He's an industry thought leader, a technology evangelist. He specializes in delivering better borrower experiences. He knows point of sale better than most people I've ever talked to. I couldn't be more excited. Please help me welcome Kelcey Brown, Chief Strategy Officer and Executive Vice President at webmax. Kelcey, welcome back to the show.
Mike, again, thanks for having me. Love the last time we did the show. Can't wait to get it started again. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So first, let's talk about what are you seeing in the industry? You've been traveling. I saw you, the images at the New Jersey. You're very involved in the New Jersey mortgage bankers. You're on panels. You're speaking. What are you hearing in the industry?
So, technology is still obviously a very big thing in the industry. People are looking for ways to enhance consumer experience. But I'm also seeing a lot of fear too, with the rise of rates and refis drying up and, people having to cut back on their staff and things of that nature. And still looking to leverage the technology to I guess kind of fill some of those voids and find new and unique ways to secure business.
So let's talk about that fear a little bit, because I agree with you. What I'm seeing in the industry are people reacting in one of two ways. One way is they kind of lean in and say, hey, if I embrace technology, if I right-size my staff, if I lean in and make good decisions, and those are the companies that are probably going to grab a lot of market share. I mean, if we really look at, and these market conditions are nowhere near what they were in 2008, but some of the lenders that leaned in are the ones that are leading the pack right now, and they're creating the greatest volumes. And then there's the ones that panic. Let's cut a bunch of staff. Let's cut all of our sales, our marketing. Let's not invest in technology. And in my opinion, you might as well put an anchor on your ankle and you're just going to go down faster. What has your experience been in people reacting one of those two ways, or is there some other way you see them respond?
Well, no, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. The companies that are responding by leveraging the technology and going full force into this, they're going to be the ones that come out on top in this. You can't let the fear stop your business. You just have to, again, find unique ways, pivot a little bit, and just keep it moving. Refis aren't dead just because rates are up.
I'm so glad you said that, because when you look at volumes, yes, refis have slowed up and they've dried up some, but they're not dead. Some people, it makes a lot of sense to do a cash out refi, and people are like, well, Michael, why would you talk about that? Rates are 5.25, rates are 5.5, they're not 2.5 now. Well, if you have credit card debt and a lot of it and you're paying 19, 20, 25% compounding interest, 5.25 or 5.5 is not really sounding bad if you understand the numbers.
Not at all. Not at all.
So let's talk about, lenders are kind of dealing with that fearfulness. What are some of the things they should do, especially as we talk about the importance of a borrower experience, right? I've mentioned it on this show numerous times, the Amazon effect. If I order something at 9 a.m, I'm kind of pissed by 3 if I don't have it.
Right.
I mean, we've been conditioned. So how does that translate into delivering a great borrower experience? And what are some of the technology things that lenders should be on the lookout for?
Well, technology is really where it's at right now from, your customer's experience. Again, I said this on the last show, people aren't running, to your brick and mortar location. So you have to have just a strong online store, if you will. That starts with, your ads for social media, your landing pages where you're directing those consumers to from social media. Building that better mousetrap. What type of intuitive forms are they going through? Are those forms integrated with your tech stack? So your CRM, is this going into Velocify? Is this going into Total Expert? Or is these forms going directly into your loan origination system? What POS you're using? And then also the communication piece. I would double down on communication right now. Over communicate to all of your leads, because, when you're out of sight, you're out of mind. They're looking at the next best thing. So, if you have a POS and somebody started filling something out and it stopped, your POS should be sending them notifications almost constantly, at least daily. So again, effectively use the technology and then over communicate. Just do it.
Well, you brought up so many good points, and there's three that I want to talk and go into deeper detail because I think you nailed it. So the first one you talked about is when most people think about delivering a great borrower experience, they're thinking about their point of sale. But you made a really interesting point saying it starts earlier than that. What are you putting on social media? What are you doing with landing pages? So talk about what is some of the fear that lenders have about doing that, or what are some of the best practices that they can do for starting it earlier than just waiting until it gets to the point of sale?
Well, when you're waiting to get it to the point of sale, there would have already had to have been some communication. So either you have loan officers calling their clients and telling them to go to the point of sale, or you have some kind of direct marketing campaign from a CRM pointing those people to the point of sale. The problem is a lot of times these consumers are not ready to go into the application process. They want to dip their toes in a pool before they jump in and get all cold and shivery and stuff like that. So you have to kind of ease them into it. And that's what I meant by building a better mousetrap. I'm working with a CUSO out of New England right now. They get it. Their whole experience starts with various types of just marketings, and that's social media. They're sending out email notifications to their members, and then they're directing them to a landing page, which just asks a few questions. What's your first name? What's your last name? What's your your date of birth?
Right. Non-threatening, but easy for them to engage with.
Very easy and very quick, and very little bit of data entry, manual entry, and that gets the consumer started. And then once they click submit, they're sending out text messages, they're sending out emails. I know there's a lot of CRMs out there that do that. Some really good ones too. Accelerate, I think, is one. Hey.
Yep.
But they have all of that set up, and then they're directing that consumer back to another landing page where they start the point of sale process. But all of the information that they have from that, whatever information they had from that particular member, and also all of the information that they had through that lead funnel, is automatically in the application process. So when they get in there, it's they're basically just finishing it up. Inserting all of the rest of the information.
That's such a good point, because one of the most frustrating things is when you get moved along to different people in the organization, they pretend like they don't know you at all, and you're like, really? I've been a client here for 15 years, and you're now asking me again my address, and you're asking me my phone number. Use technology, leverage it. The second point that you brought up that I think is critical, and this is something that a lot of lenders struggle with, you mentioned a ton of different systems.
Yes.
Point of sale, an online application, a CRM, an LOS, all of those things are critically important. So talk to me how important it is for all of those to communicate and fit within a lender's tech stack.
Well, I think it's very important. And, you have to make sure that you're leveraging the right technology that has a strong enough API to where it can support the back and forth communication. Because if you don't, you're going to find a lot of holes in your process, and you're going to find yourself doing a lot of manual task. So, if you're using a loan origination system, you want to make sure that your other softwares that you're using is able to have a bi-directional sync with it. At webmax, we have a few loan origination system integrations. Most of those are bi-directional. Encompass for sure. I think we probably have one of the most sophisticated Encompass integrations, but that's just me being biased because I'm webmax, right? But we also make sure that we have the bi-directional syncs with the CRMs, and everything else that we integrate as well. We're now doing payment gateways and things of that nature too. So, we have the integration with Encompass to pull back goodbye letters if somebody tries to make a payment with a lender who's no longer servicing the loan. We pull back the goodbye letter. Now, if they are servicing the loan, then we can direct them to the payment page, and they can make their payment right through the webmax solution. It's very important to have, everything in your technology stack to be able to seamlessly communicate with each other and bi-directionally. So if something happens here, it needs to update here, it needs to update there. You have to make sure that that's intact. Otherwise, again, you have a lot of holes in your process.
Well, and I love that you say that the bi-directional support, understanding APIs, because not all APIs are created equally. Some
They're
people
not.
just throw the term out yet. Oh, yeah, we've got integration. And you're like, yeah, we're not just talking about sending over 5 data fields, right? That doesn't really help. You want it tightly integrated. The information and data has to flow back and forth and update in both of those systems. All right, let's talk about the third point you brought up, and then I'll keep asking other questions. But the third one, and I think this is probably the most important out of the 3 that you mentioned, is over-communicate. Over-communicate. Yes. Tell me why you say that. And lenders that don't communicate, whether it's with their borrower, whether it's with their real estate agent or title agent, or even amongst their teams, typically struggle. Walk me through kind of that over-communication and why you think it's so critically important.
Well, I think it's important because, we're at the age where everybody's home in front of their computer, and they have been getting things served fast, except for, if you did amended tax returns offline, you're not getting that back quickly. Or if you just apply for a passport, you're not getting that back quickly. But typically everything that's done online right now, people want information back to them like very quickly, and they want to know where they are in the process. When you do a loan application, you like not a mortgage loan application, but if you do like a personal loan application, typically whether or not you're approved within a minute or two, and then from there, the company is asking you, give me your driver's license, give me all your documentation, and you're uploading that. And then when you upload that, you're getting a response back almost real time. Like, okay, thank you. You've submitted everything. Your loan is in process. You're approved. We'll send you another notification as soon as the funds have been dispersed. Boom, you're done. So you need to do the same thing. And I think in every business, in my business, mortgage business, you just need to over communicate, because when that consumer does not hear from you, they think the worst, and then they start talking to other people, and then they might find somebody with a better rate or a better deal or whatever it is, and then they start dealing with them, and now you have competition in a space. So again, over communication, I think keeps them top of mind, or keeps you top of mind, I should say, and just gives the consumer the confidence that you're handling your business.
Well, and I think that is so important. And I give you an example. Recently, I had to purchase a new window. Mm-hmm. And, with supply chain issues and everything like that, they're like, hey, it's going to be about 15 weeks. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. But every Friday, I got a status update. We have your order. It's all been processed. The next Friday, it may say it has been sent to the order fulfillment company. We will keep 6 weeks in, and it will say, hey, your window is now being manufactured. Well, the beautiful thing about that is when they automated that and used technology, I had clear transparency, and I was never wondering what the next step is. So for the most part, I didn't worry about it. It was a great process. And then when it came in, they're like, hey, your window has come in. Your installer will be contacting you to get it installed. Awesome. Simple, easy, smooth transaction. And if they can do it for a relatively inexpensive window compared to a mortgage, mm-hmm. we need to do more of that stuff as a mortgage. I mean, people are spending $300,000, $500,000, $600,000 on a home, and we don't even communicate effectively to say that we have all of your documents, or you've been pre-approved, or you're clear to close.
Don't leave your consumer scratching their head. Do not leave your consumer scratching their head. Where am I? Let them know. Tell them. Scream it to them. Get your bullhorn. And by bullhorn, I mean emails, text messages, automated system notifications. You got to do it.
Exactly. Kelcey, I could not agree with you more. So it's been a little while since we've had a chance to connect. Tell me, what's new at webmax? What's going on? What's exciting? What's really, our lenders gravitating to that you guys are doing?
So we're doing a lot. Obviously, the core for webmax was the enterprise level website provisioning system with a digital point of sale application. We've recently advanced our CMS. So we're doing a lot more than just corporate branch loan officer websites. We're doing a lot of the things that I just talked about, landing pages, intuitive lead funnels, and also loan funnels. So leads are basically just form fills that you can put together in an interview style, so that people can just insert information quickly with very little data entry. And we're sending that information to CRMs, and that's also bi-directional. And then with our loan funnels, it's the same thing, only the loan funnels are directed towards the loan origination system. So think of many point of sale applications, right? You're getting data right into your LOS, and it's creating a loan for you very quickly. Then we just revamped the entire point of sale application. So,
Really?
yeah, it's a beautiful thing right now. I mean, it has the automated borrowers needs list. It has, your sales list. It has your processing list. It has it literally has everything. It has the pre-qual letter. You can generate a pre-qual letter, send it right to your consumer. It has all of those touch points that I was talking about earlier, where it's just letting you know, hey, we still need this from you. This is where we are, et cetera, et cetera. So it's doing all of that over communication piece. It just has a lot, and I'm really excited about it. Task management, that's also big. And then the analytics on both platforms. Analytics for the CMS. We just built I like to call it lead to loan analytics. It's really
Okay.
a smart dashboard. But, from the time that somebody enters your website, you need to know what that is. And then you need to know if they filled out a lead form. And then you need to know if they actually filled out a loan and if that loan actually closed. So we can track that from soup to nuts, really, beginning to end, A to Z. We have the ability to track that and then present that to you through our smart dashboard in the CMS, which I think is powerful analytics for your online marketing campaigns and things of that nature.
Kelcey, if somebody wants to find out more about all the cool stuff that you just mentioned and about WebMax and maybe see it in action, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Well, they can easily go to the website. We're webmaxco.com, so webmaxco.com, and you can check out all of the pages there. But there's contact forms to reach right out. You can always go to sales@webmaxco.com, email address. You can call me directly, 856-702-6415. That's my direct number. You can text me. I'm on social media. I'm literally everywhere. So you can send a smoke signal. If I can see it, I'm getting back to you.
I love it. One of the last things, I know you've had the chance to go back now to some live conferences. I think digital is still very important, but you've had a chance. What are some of the things that you've heard? What are some of the conferences? I know you were at the New Jersey Mortgage Bankers. You were presenting about social media and some of the other cool stuff. How does it feel to be back live and meeting with people again in the industry?
It felt like I missed it. It didn't skip a beat at all. I missed it. I missed shaking hands, giving high fives. I missed speaking on the panels. Last one I did was diversity and inclusion for the New Jersey, the NBA New Jersey Women's Committee. We did diversity and inclusion. I think the one that you saw, I did social media with Ashley Gravano.
Yep.
That one was fun. I love seeing people. I love talking to the people. So, for me, I want to be on the road as much as possible.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on the road, whether it's at MBA Annual or some of the other conferences coming up. Kelcey, I can't thank you. You always have a wealth of knowledge and excitement. You're always so passionate about giving back to the industry. So thank you for being a guest on this episode of the Fintech Hunting Podcast.
Thanks, Michael.